Hey wonderful people, welcome to my channel. Now that we have finished all 27 axes of Rahu and Ketu, I will focus myself for you to bring to you some finer aspects of Rahu and Ketu, perhaps which may not have considered earlier, right? So there are 3 axes of Rahu and Ketu which are precious, which are very nice. Why? Among all the other axes, 3, just 3. Okay, out of the 27 zodiac nakshatras and 12 zodiac signs, just 3 come out to be the shining stars of Rahu and Ketu. The best possible combination, you might say. Now, why do I say that? Because you will notice both Rahu and Ketu in each one of these axes is in a Devgana Nakshatra. This is a much neglected aspect of Vedic astrology which you see in the mainstream. Nobody cares about Gana. It is everything in nakshatras. The color of a Devgana is to interpret and get higher meanings, higher concepts, higher philosophies, higher learning of sorts. So how can we take this higher? How can I make this better? That's Devgana at its best, okay? So let's look at one by one which are these axes and what birth groups of the children of new consciousness are falling within this axis, which year these people are born. The kids, the 18 to 34-year-olds of today, okay? Let's see. So there we go. The first one is the best axis of Rahu and Ketu, the first one among the lot, as you can see over there, right? Rahu is marked over there, Ketu, and it can be the other way around also. It falls in the 3rd and 4th pada of Ashwini, and it traverses and cuts through the entire axis and the Ketu goes towards 1st and 2nd pada of Swati in Libra. So we are talking about the Kal Purusha Lagna once again, aren't we? We are talking about Aries Libra. And next one, ironically or wonderfully, is Cancer and Capricorn. Again, Kal Purusha Lagna 1, 4, 7 and 10. Okay, you got to see the Kal Purusha Lagna video to know what I'm talking about. Now, what does this provide us? What does this kind of a Rahu and Ketu provide these children who are coming in with this, and I'll cover that in a minute. Ashwini and Swati, you got to understand the nakshatra itself. Both are Devganas, so both are striving towards something higher. Ashwini is the initiator of things, right? Ashwini is a healer. Ashwini can be even a doctor, even a New Agey type healer, Reiki type healer, Ayurvedic type healer. They are powerful healers. They have a theme of healing. They have healed the Devas themselves. They have a theme of searching for initiating something new. They are good at initiating stuff, although not finishing stuff. Not all who are good initiators are good finishers either. Okay, this is why like they say in Hindi, in India, "Panch ungli ek tarike se nahi hai," means all 5 fingers are not alike. People are born for different causes, different purposes. So this Ashwini will give the energy, whether Rahu or Ketu there, it will give the energy of initiating. On the other side, there is the energy of Swati, which is of independent thinking, self. Who am I in the collective? Remember, Libra is about collective. Libra is about external, right? So if you put Ketu or Rahu in Libra, it becomes they are trying to find their individual place in the collective. Libra is about collective, but Swati is about individuality. So you might say, well, that's kind of contradictory, isn't it? Individuality and collective, where do I belong? Do I become part of the collective and just lose myself in every other bit of idea that is out there? Or do I bring something individual to the picture? Who am I in the collective is the effort and is the direction of Swati. For this, they must go individually alone, seek out alone. Because individuality requires first getting in touch with oneself. Who am I? Swati. That individuality, it works with Ashwini on the other side to bring in new stuff in the world. Just having new fancy ideas won't help. You have to initiate it. You have to bring forth that idea and put it out into the world, into a YouTube channel or a media or podcast or anything. Or even teach it, maybe in university or whatever it is, right? Look up the themes of Ashwini and Swati, and then you will figure out this better in the 27 Nakshatra playlist. You got to revisit these 2 Nakshatra themes, because these 2 stand opposite to one another, right? And in these two padas only, this is where ascendant angle becomes really crucial. Okay, you got to check for the ascendant angle, because the ascendant is everything. Slight degrees variation in here and there, and you change the pada, and then the Rahu Ketu goes somewhere else, right? So only if the birth chart is accurate, time of birth is accurate, then it becomes, your ascendant angle becomes accurate, and so does Rahu and Ketu. See, it's just a simple logic there. So remember, Ashwini Swati is about individuality, getting in touch with your individuality which you want to bring to the external world. And on the opposite side sits Mr. Swati, Ashwini, who wants to initiate that and bring it to the external world. So Aries, Libra, and of course dispositors you got to see. Aries, Libra is about Mars and Venus. Both are good providers of different complementing type energies. They complement each other. They bring different stuff. Mars is the soldier, initiator. Venus is the provider of sense, aesthetic sense, beauty, all that stuff. So these two work at different sides of the picture, what we can do here as talents and abilities. Okay, we got to see where the dispositors are and all the rest of it, which I have covered in Rahu and Ketu series. Now, who are the kids who are born in this, right? Let's see those. Now, like I said, I have plotted found out two particular axes where this Ashwini Rahu Ketu, you see the yellow highlight there, the band, and in the other one as well, where these kids who are now having active Ashwini Swati axis. Sorry, my throat. Some peach juice for me. Right, so Ashwini Swati axis, first one, are ones who are born in 1995, and I think that is 10th June 1995. So around that time, check your charts and you will know 1995 10th June, give or take plus or minus 1 month. Okay, and then you will find, depending upon where you are born, that this particular axis is playing out. What we just discussed, Ashwini Swati, who are now 28 years old, so they are mature. They are young men and women around the world. And these people will be good at initiating new ideas. Definitely so. The next one, ones born in 2004, as you can see there. I failed to see the year. Let me see the year. Which one is this? Yeah, this one is June, I think. June 2004. Okay, so there again, these kids are 19 years old at the moment, and these are also born in this particular axis. So these two kids, 28 years old on the one side and 19 years old on the other side. So it's every 10 years, I guess it repeats, right? Every 19 years. You can see the difference there. This will become good initiators, seeking wisdom, seeking higher learning, maybe become good healers, good doctors. Of course, you have to see the rest of the planets and points, but given the Rahu Ketu axis, these are the good ones to have. They won't have propensity to do selfish stuff. They won't have propensity to do bad things. These are the good guys, boys and girls. Okay. Now let's see the next axis. Ashwini Swati was the one. What's the next one? The Cancer Capricorn. Let's see that. Now this next one, Cancer Capricorn axis, which falls between Pushya and Shravana Nakshatra. That means Cancer is Pushya Nakshatra, Rahu there, Mr. Rahu is there, and the Ketu is right opposite to him on the other side in Shravana Nakshatra. So we are talking once again about Moon, Cancer, the dispositor, on the other side Saturn as the dispositor. Cancer Capricorn, right? The 4 and 10 axis in the Kala Purusha Lagna. So Rahu here and Ketu there in Shravana and in Pushya. Shravana and Pushya are the Guru Shishya, or the teacher and the student, teacher and the disciple axis. Shravana has the theme of not listening to good advice. Pushya on the other side wants to give good advice. He knows what the good advice is. Teacher knows what the wisdom is. Pushya is a teacher. They have become teachers in real life also, right? Professors, teachers of us that we have. So Pushya knows the wisdom, and Shravana does not know the wisdom and does not listen to others, being stubborn. There's their theme. So this axis, although both are Devganas once again, so both have a propensity to search for higher meanings and search for this thing. But so this axis of Rahu Ketu for these children, for these 18 to 34-year-olds, and we see that in a minute where that falls and how old they are today, this particular axis will give them the wisdom, knowledge to bring things to the external world in a nice way. Devgana wants to do things in a nice way. Rahu Ketu, let's face it, is a blotch on human personality. It's like a dark spot, okay? Blind spots you can call it. But once Rahu and Ketu fall in a Devgana Nakshatra, and both of them like this, then the amount of self-examination, self-exploration, seeing one's own shadow becomes powerful for these kids. They can see their own side and self-examine and say, I know where my problem areas are. Or I know where to correct this kind of a stuff. They become that. In other places, especially when Rahu and Ketu are sitting both sides on a Rakshasa Gana Nakshatra, it's difficult. It's like putting a black dot in a black canvas. You are in it so much that you can't see your own blind spots. It's that simple a principle. So Ketu and Rahu can be reversed, but what we are trying to bring is the theme of the nakshatra. Okay, we are trying to bring the theme of Shravana, and looking on the other side, it is the theme of Pushya. So this axis will give them principle of push and pull of within themselves where they are searching for meaning. Again, you've got to see which axis this fall in which house, because that house is what Rahu and Ketu want, right? We discussed this in the Rahu Ketu series. Check the house first. What Rahu Ketu want? Where do they want to sit? The aspects of the house is what the Rahu and Ketu want to work with. But the nakshatra itself is good. So this axis is very good. Now let's see which particular one they want to bring it forth. Yeah. So let's change the screen. Okay, I think I got to pause this and get back. So there we go. I have stuck it as best as I can, squeezed it into the screen. Yeah. So the second good Rahu Ketu axis, Pushya and Shravana axis. First one applies to those born in 1999 November, circa November. Check your charts. You might be having this axis. Okay. If I move this guy around, we'll be able to see it. You can see the yellow spot. Yes, right. So that's where it will come. Now they are 24 years old, young men and women. The second ones who will have this in their birth charts among the children of new consciousness are the ones born in 1990 and around June of 1990. So they will be around 33 years old today. Young, mature adults. Yes. So these are the ones who are working with the teacher-student dynamic. How do I learn things and how do I bring it to the world? They may even make good coaches, by the way. A coach has to be learnable and teachable, not just some guy who has gathered a bunch of certificates. A coach is a student and a teacher all at the same time. They are continuously learning and they are continuously helping humanity. Both are happening at the same time. Being in Devgana, I would think these kids would make really good teachers in that context. Coaches, life coaches, business coaches, you name it. Anyway, any particular field is fine, really. Okay. Now let's see the last axis. So the last axis is Rahu Ketu, as I've shown there, but this is in Pisces and Virgo, opposite signs, right? 6th house and 12th house. So think in terms of 6th house and 12th house. 6th house is the house of work, striving, producing your karma in the world. Okay, you're working, your daily work, your routines, etc. Your native land. 12th house is foreign lands, foreign enemies, hidden enemies. So you're working with the hard aspects of gaining in the work, world, materialism, money, debts, everything in the 6th house. And 12th house, you're losing everything away. You're becoming more spiritual. Foreign land, spirituality, renunciation from material world. Imagine the push and pull axis, right? So that's what we are working with when you come to this axis. It travels from first and second pada of Revati, and on the other side it is third and fourth pada of Hasta. Both are Devganas once again, and they fall in Pisces and Virgo. So the dispositors will be Jupiter and Mercury. Jupiter and Mercury, if you remember the entire 27 Rahu Ketu series, is also student-teacher dynamic. Now this is happening at the dispositor level. In Cancer Capricorn, I was talking about nakshatra level. Two different things, okay? Keep that in mind. Now, Revati here, Revati is what? Theme. First of all, themes of Revati is the prosperous one. It wants to give knowledge, it wants to gain money, it wants to make some things useful, yeah? It's got great leadership qualities, Revati, if I remember correctly. And on the other side, Hasta has got hand skills. It can do good things with hands, all kinds of handsy talent, sculpture, painter, software engineer, can be anything really. And they are very grounded people. On the other side is an emotional sign, Pisces, water sign. This side is an earth sign. And both are in dual signs, so both are changeable in that. So Rahu Ketu do very well here. They are kind of seeking, they are kind of always evolving through life. Hasta and Revati, this axis, this Rahu and Ketu makes them continuously evolving, seeking kind of men and women. Yeah, it's also a beautiful nakshatra axis for Rahu Ketu to fall in, because both Hasta and Revati are Devganas. Revati wants to provide prosperity, Hasta wants to work the puzzle with hands. Bottom line. Okay. Now let us see the kids who will fall in this between 1987 onwards. We are talking about all children born after 1987, born in the shift. Okay, let's see. So as you can see there, the first Hasta Revati axis for Rahu and Ketu will come for all boys and girls born in 2005 who are 18 years old now, born around November 2006. You see the marked November 2005, 4th November 2005, and it's marked there in yellow. The same Rahu Ketu axis in the same pada. The next one will be born in 2005. Oh, I have stuck the same thing twice. Okay, this is an error. Okay, never mind. So some other axis. Okay, you can check in your charts wherever your axis is. Essentially, Hasta Revati is one who is working the puzzle of the hands, trying to better themselves in skill sets, especially if it falls in 10th house, 3rd house, 6th house, house of skills, yeah. And Revati on the other side wants to provide prosperity. So you can say it's a gift of work and receiving prosperity also in a higher sense. We're talking always in higher sense of evolution of nakshatras. I'm always guided to speak in those directions, yeah. So that's it for this one. I will be starting, as per popular demand, more content on the Navamsha and relationships and intimacy. And I'm thinking right now along the lines of doing it with case studies, with actual people of actual charts I have done. And we'll analyze that. First we'll establish some principles of Navamsha, and then we'll get on to more of marriage, compatibility, and more other aspects. There's already some in the playlist, you can look at it. But I'll do more and more on that, because there's no end to this knowledge that we can learn from this Vedic astrology. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Meanwhile, take care. Be safe.